Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 don't you know? Huge movie fanatic Nate coming right back at you with yet another fantastic holiday movie-themed movie review, or holiday-themed movie review, or whatever you want to call it. This particular review is for a movie that came out, I think, 10 years ago, around this time probably, exactly, which is for a movie called Christmas with the Kranks, which, excuse me, I worked at a video store at the time this came out, and much like they used to do, and I think probably, well, video stores aren't around me anymore, but what they used to do back in those days is, you know, when a movie came out, like let's say 2004, like a holiday movie, it wouldn't come out on video until the next holiday. So it probably came out on video in November or something like that of 2005. I was working at a movie gallery at the time. And so I rented it for free just because we'd seen the trailer for it like in Spider-Man 2 that summer, and it's just like, oh wow, Dan Aykroyd, because, you know, at the time he really wasn't in much anymore, and for him to be like back with Jamie Lee Curtis, or not with, but in the same movie with, was just kind of cool, whatever. So, you know, because I was able to see it for free, I rented it, you know, once it came out in '05, I can only imagine is when it came out on video, for free, and me and my pop at the time watched it, and it was just like, you know, I can remember, I don't know, not thinking much, really caring too much about it one way or another, but I gotta tell you, I mean, 10 years later, it's just like, holy shit. I had since bought it previously viewed a long time ago, probably maybe over the winter, '05, '06 winter, or something like that. And I hadn't seen it probably since '06 or something like that. And I gotta tell you, I watched this within the last week or so, and having rewatched it, holy Toledo, this is just a flippin' mess. This movie's just a flippin' mess, man. That's all there is to it. First of all, it's supposed to take place in Chicago, and you can tell it's just, you know, it's just shot probably in just, you know, Hollywood or whatever, and like, you know, the very few like city scenes or whatever, you can just tell it's like Universal Studios and all this shit, and you can tell it's like, I don't know, probably at least 70 degrees, all the exterior shots of the, you know, the neighborhood and stuff, and it's just like, oh man, you know, in like I don't know, it's the weirdest production design ever for like the exterior of the neighborhood, because it's like there'll be these grassy yards, and then there'll be like, as if it's like a cake or something. You know how they have the frosting around the edges of the cake? They'll have the snow around the edges of the yard. It's just like, what the hell? You know, you can tell these people have never actually lived in a frickin' place where it snows, because it's just like, that's not... Why the hell is there just like snow frosting around the edges of the yard? So the whole movie is basically has these fake-ass snowy yards that are just like, just spot snow here and there, crap. And it looks like these people are probably sweating their asses off in these winter get-up. I mean, obviously you never see, I don't think you ever see any breath, because it's probably always at least 70-something degrees in all these exteriors. And you can tell in the people's shadows that the people barely cast any shadow, which means the sun is really like high up into the sky. Like, you know, when you have a actual... You know, even in midday when it's, you know, in December in the Midwest, I mean, you cast a long shadow. So this is just a bunch of bull crap. And obviously I'm just nitpicking, but come on. I mean, it's I guess obviously people who live in Hawaii or whatever like that, in places that don't have snow, won't think anything of it. But being someone who lives in the Midwest, in Minnesota, it's just like, oh, give me a break, you know. This movie is just, let me get on to the movie now. This movie is just the most, like, stupid, I guess it's based on a story, I don't know if it's a book or whatever, called Skipping Christmas or something. But the movie is just, in my opinion, the most stupid premise, where it's just like, okay, you know, we did Christmas every year, but now that our daughter's going off to college or whatever, or going to the Peace Corps, or going over to Guam or whatever, she's going to be gone, and I don't know, we're all sad that she left on the day... Was it the day after Thanksgiving did she leave or something like that? And Tim, what's his name? Tim Allen's just like, oh, I don't know, hell with, I don't know what prompts I think he realizes that since she's gone, they don't need to bother with Christmas. He does all the math and realizes that they spend like $6,000 a year, I don't know how, on Christmas, and he does the math and he realizes for half the price, him and his wife could, instead of doing Christmas, could go to the Bahamas or something like that for a couple weeks or something. since the daughter's not going to be around anyway, and it's the first Christmas without the daughter, boo-hoo-hoo. So that's what they're going to do. So half of the movie is them. Oh, this is so pathetic. You know what my biggest problem with this movie is they spend the first half of the movie, these characters, Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen, telling everyone in the neighborhood, all their coworkers, everyone that they know, that they're not doing Christmas. And what I really hate about this movie is the actual real world, truthful, creepy ass way that all the neighborhood and their friends and coworkers all give them such shit for not wanting to go along in this kind of bullshit thing, which is, every year, which is Christmas. And the one thing that having rewatched it within the last week, I was just like, ooh, I had shudders of just horror as I saw these people and heard them speak about, well, you can't skip Christmas, what's your problem? And Dan Aykroyd's character is just an asshole, kind of like this neighborhood king or whatever the hell he is. And he's just like, does this stupid Midwestern accent thing that no other character in the movie has, by the way. So he's like the only one. And he's just like, oh, I miss being in Fargo, so now here's my chance to do it. But yeah, the creepiest thing about the movie is just how from every single angle that Tim Allen's character, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, every single person they come across in contact with, they're all about, oh, you got to do this. Or every time someone comes to the door, like for charity, she's always shocked when Tim Allen's like, no, I'm not going to donate to this and that and do all this Christmas crap, And me, being a person who doesn't observe any holiday, so I'm an equal holiday non-observer, I don't bother with any holiday just because I'm an adult, and it's just like, what's the point and all this kind of shit. So it's just, I find it really creepy when all these people in the movie are just like, oh, you can't not celebrate Christmas. I mean, you don't want to be the freak of the neighborhood. What would they think? I just think that's so creepy, watching it as an actual, brain adult with a brain. It's just like really creepy. And then of course halfway through the goddamn movie, the daughter's like, guess what? I'm coming home for Christmas. And it's just like, oh goody. And what I think is so lame is the whole goddamn, they can't disappoint the daughter because I guess she's just Princess Diana's frickin' daughter or something. Like she's so important that the whole goddamn neighborhood pitches in to all of a sudden, like within how long a time, I don't know if it's like a day or two, I don't know, I can't even remember how long of notice they get, not very much. The whole damn neighborhood pitches in to make, within a period of 24 hours or 48 hours or something. God, I probably sound like a Scrooge doing this review, but I don't give a shit. Humbug. I think this movie's dumb. Just the whole rest of the movie is like showing how the whole neighborhood pitches in to get a tree, decorations. They try to go get honey custard ham or whatever the hell kind of frickin' food the daughter likes to eat on Christmas. What I think is hickory honey whatever ham. What I think is really creepy about this movie is like how everyone gives so much of a shit about like not disappointing the stupid daughter. It's just like, God, why do everyone in the movie is so, who gives a shit if she comes home and it's not, it's just like, ugh. So just as a person who doesn't fall for the holiday crap and feel like they have to be a victim and whether they want to or not and partake in that kind of hocus pocus bullcrap, it's just like, oh my gosh. So I guess, long story short, I don't even know why I'm giving it 1 1/4 star, 1 1/4 star. It does feature that guy who just seems to be in every other movie, who I actually really like, which I'm not going to be able to remember his name, but I'll put it on the screen in red letters. The guy from, The Jerk and Blade Runner and Missing in Action. Yeah, in The Flash, the pilot of the Flash TV show. I think he's just a great, all-around great character, and I don't know if he's still alive, but I always like seeing him every time he's in a movie, and him and his wife were probably some of the most endearing characters in the movie. And the one reason I'm giving it 1 1/4 star, that high of a rating, is because the end, I must say, the end of the movie kind of redeems itself, and they do a relatively good job with the fake snow at the end, and it just, I gotta tell you, even being a bah humbug Scrooge-ish Grinch kind of a fellow, I gotta tell you, the end gets, with all the Christmas lights and the fake snow and all the music and all this and that, the end kind of wins you over and gives you that all-around fuzzy, holiday spirit, cheer, damn feeling of whatever. And the one saving grace of this movie is that Tim Allen's character goes across the street and gives the tickets that are all paid for to the older couple to go on the vacation to the Bahamas or whatever, and just the movie does end with an overall great, if you like that kind of a thing, holiday cheer-ishness to it. So 1 1/4 stars for Christmas with the Kranks, mostly just crap that gets slightly redeemed at the very, very end of the movie if you can actually make it that far into the movie. So thank you very much for watching this particular review, and as always, you can catch me on my next one. Ho ho ho. Green Giant.